Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Adam. I'm working in web development for a small business that sells French provincial furniture. So it's really kind of niche, really luxury. And then in my spare time, I'm the president of the Young Scientists of Australia.
So what initially drew you into the communications field?
Yeah, well, you have to be in that communications field. The organisation I work for, the Young Scientists of Australia, is a non-profit. We don't have many people. And the workplace I work for is a small business. So you can't not do communication. It's such a fundamental part. And if we weren't doing it for the organisation, we wouldn't exist. For our business, we'd be crippled, you know? It's such an integral part to what we do. So I didn't have a choice. I was kind of shoved into that field.
Is it a good thing? Are you happy that you made this move and you stuck with it?
It's great because it means you can interact with your customers and your people that you're trying to target on a much more personal level, and you can have an involvement in their kind of everyday life and contribute to their daily activities. So I think it's much better than the days of print media and you know, letters in the mail. You can be much more real in the person's lives, everyday lives. So it's something I value, and I think it's an advancement for the field.
This whole idea of IT being new, being a really young kind of industry, how do you think communications is going to prosper within the IT field?
Yeah, I mean, in the past, IT used to be for IT's sake. So you have these purely technology companies. But now there are a lot of companies that are using technology to achieve lots of things. So the traditional startups used to be, you know, Apple and Google, that kind of stuff, who were doing fundamentally technology, computer science, really. But now there are a whole bunch of startups that are really pivoting around communication. Like, I don't know if you know MailChimp, but they're taking the fundamental field of communication and really marrying it to technology. And they're doing some amazing stuff. So there's a lot of scope for communication in technology, and I think it's a natural thing because communication is the expression of you know, human existence and the way we interact with people, and technology is just kind of facilitating that, you know.
You're talking about MailChimp and the ease at which you can gain information on the receiver's activity. Where do you think ethics sits at the moment within the IT and the communications industry?
Yeah, just communication in general online. It's kind of the wild, wild west. Just recently, we had you know, terrorist organizations forming atrocious acts, and that's on YouTube. If you want, you know, could pull it up right now, and we could watch, you know, the murder of a guy in the media, actually, you know, photographer. So it is really, really, you know, out of control in a way, and private industry will do what private industry will do, which is use the technology for their benefit. And it is getting, you know, very personal and very kind of close. But it's important to keep it in perspective that there's a reason why Woolworths gives you the everyday rewards card and Coles gives you the flybys. That's all about collecting information about you and tracking your purchases. So it's not a new problem, but it is something that I think we really do need to deal with and get on top of.
Knowing this side of the industry, does that change your actions at home? Are you more conservative on Facebook and Twitter now? How does it change your recreational and your leisure use of social media?
Yeah, you have to be really careful about these, you know, megaphone kind of channels. And I think with communication amongst young people these days, that's why you're seeing the rise of alternative apps like Snapchat. And this generation, actually, Gen Y, is interestingly enough, it's seeming to turn to a more kind of visual kind of communication, which is, I think, particularly fascinating. I don't think any generation, you know, before in such a big way has been such visual communicators. To your point, yeah, I think there are times when I'm about to post something on Facebook and I have the wisdom to say, is this really the thing that I should? As witty as they may be, I do sometimes self-filter.
Thank you for your time, Adam. This has been a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you. It's been great to meet you.
Awesome.
Cheers.